and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James, the channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. I want to make a video. I want to talk about this story that's come out. In the last yesterday it came out. Yesterday evening it came out. Rangers securing a loan despite obviously what is going on at the club at the moment as regards the takeover. It just seems rather weird that this situation has now occurred. That the present board have gone and decided to seek a loan, a major bank loan, which is secured against future receivables, e.g. future transfer fees. So I'd love to know, why are the current board putting the club in hock when there is a prospective takeover on the cards? Now, is it that because the takeover has run into difficulties? Is it because at this moment in time, with the takeover being what it is, the fact that it obviously has not completed and apparently will not complete until the season's end, the club need money to continue to operate? It seems bizarre that the club are continuing to laden the new owners when that move comes through with existing debt. I don't get that. I don't understand it. Apparently the paperwork has been confirmed. The loan has been issued by the Macquarie Bank with future transfer fees, though unspecified, set to be directed to the lender. So it sounds like the repayments that will come off this loan will come off future transfer fees, sounding like that any money that we have to bring into the club will not obviously go back into be reinvested into the playing squad, but we will be going to pay off this loan. Like I said, I find the situation very, very weird, considering that, yesterday obviously we had a share issue, a brand new share issue. Now we've got a situation where the club have had to seek a loan. Like I said, is this to continue operating, to make the takeover, to be able to make it through to the eventual takeover? Or is it that the takeover has collapsed and the club are looking to secure itself, given the fact that it was relying on the money from the takeover? I'd love to know what the reason is. The Macquarie Bank obviously has got a track record of financing football clubs, has obviously loaned money to both Watford and Burnley in England. However, the specific reasons for this decision for Rangers to take out this loan as yet have not been made clear. They also fly in the face of what was previously said by the board. John Bennett had, when he was Rangers chairman, spoke of the fact that he didn't want the club to take out any further loans, that he didn't want the club to get into this, and he said he would not engage with banks such as Macquarie Bank due to the interest rates that there were. At the time when he said that, this is what he actually said. He said, "We have numerous approaches, including in November. It is so interesting. They will come to you, and it could be equity, it could be family offices, it could be banks such as the Macquarie Bank, and they are active in the football space. They can't touch our terms." What I have been saying, and a number of us have been saying, is okay, those are interesting approaches. I can tell you that one of them was at 13% per annum, which is obviously a very high interest rate. That's not what he said, that's what I just said. We are not paying that. We are no longer paying 9. We are no longer paying 8. 6 is the new benchmark. If those providers can come in and beat that 2 levels, a lower coupon, because 6 is the new benchmark, and we have driven down the cost of the funding to 6%. Look, it is very, very weird. Now, this comes off the back, of course, of Rangers sacking manager Philippe Clement, which obviously would have cost a substantial amount of money. Now, we did know at the time that CEO Patrick Stewart said, and he has constantly denied, that financial constraints were keeping Philippe Clement in his role, and that was not the actual reason for that. So I don't, like I said, this is a very weird decision. Now, look, I don't know the reason. I genuinely don't. I can only kind of surmise. I can only kind of guess as to what the reason could be. If you look at it in terms of where we're at now, in terms of why this loan has been taken out. Now, is it that the club have had to pay out a substantial amount of money to sack Philippe Clement? they now have discovered that they have not got the money that they needed, that money was obviously taken from somewhere else, and they now need to reinvest, to get money from elsewhere to keep the club running or to meet the everyday of day-to-day costs going forward. Which is exceptionally worrying if that's the case. Like I said, I don't know that. I am just trying to guess reasons here, which I know may not be very helpful, but look, as a fan, you want to know what's going on with your football club. And when your club seeks a loan from a bank at this point in the season, it's not like we are entering a transfer window where they may be looking for money to then go and strengthen the squad. It's not like we are currently undergoing any stadium redevelopments or any major capital building projects. So again, that loan is not kind of secured on that. So the first thing, like I said, the thing that really worries me is, what is this money for? Why are they having to take out a loan? Why are they having to have a share issue at this point? And the other thing that concerns me, obviously, is what message is that sending to Andrew Kavanagh, Parag Marathe and the 49ers Enterprises in terms of where the club is at financially and how the club is set up. Now, as an investor, surely if they look at that and they see the club is actually in financial difficulty and is having to get loans to bail itself out and sell more shares and make more shares to generate income, then they may therefore look at it and say, well, actually, this is not an attractive financial proposition, which could put the club in major issues and major problems going forward, and certainly kill the bubble of optimism that is around the club at this moment in time. The other issue, of course, is that, this loan is now secured against future transfer fees, which, we were told that the whole idea of the trading model that the club were looking to set up was basically there to go forward to help the club to self-fund. The club would obviously bring in players, develop players, improve players, and then obviously sell them on for a profit. Now, is that now going to be a situation where the vast majority of any transfer fees now in the future and for the next few years are going to go to pay off this loan that has been taken out? This also comes off the back of a number of figures, including former Aberdeen CEO Keith Wyner, saying that basically that the present board at Rangers Football Club have been very poor custodians of the club and are just there basically to have the social status of being a Rangers director, are actually not genuinely interested in what the club does. It's all about them, having the blazer, having the tie, having the seat in the director's box and looking good on a match day. Which, look, as much as, Keith Wynish, you might disagree with him. I think he's a bit of a knob. Being ex-Aberdeen, being ex-Sheep, you've got to say that he's pretty much right on this one. The present board are an absolute bunch of gormless morons. They really are. And as I've said on numerous occasions, people like the Park family, the Park family are genuinely like an absolute cancer in this football club. They are absolutely rotting this club from the inside out. And the sooner they're gone, the better. But, it is a really weird one for me today to read this news. To be at work, I've been at work all day, and I come home and you read this news and you think, why? What is the situation? You kind of looked at it in terms of the fact that, the club seems to be moving forward in terms of its financial position. In terms of paying down the debt, in terms of, looking to the future. Yet now the club is taking out a loan. Now, is this to pay off debt, or is this to pay off Clement, or is this to secure the future financial operating of the club? What is the reason behind this loan? I think the club do need to come out. They do need to speak to the fans and say, look, this is why we've taken out this loan. This is why we need to take out this loan. But, other than that, it is a very worrying situation, and like I've just said, it puts the club in hock again. It puts the club in a difficult financial position. Yet again, borrowing money from a bank, is not what you want to be doing. And like I said, at this stage of the season does not make any sense unless there is a financial issue that needs to be solved. You genuinely take out a loan when you have something, obviously something goes wrong, you need to buy something, or you need to get a new something, or you need to fix something on your house. Is that the reason? Is something wrong? Is something going wrong? Like I said, I think it's very weird with what is going on at the football club. And I would love to know what Parag Marathe and Andrew Kavanagh make of this story today. I'd love to know what their take is on the whole situation. Are they going to they're obviously going to buy the football club or buy them a controlling majority share in the football club. Therefore, are going to be having to deal with some of this debt. Now, are the new owners going to come in and pay off this loan, pay off this debt straight away? I highly doubt it. You've only got to look at what Jed York and the San Francisco 49ers are currently doing over in America at this moment in time, where they are paring back their spending. If you look at what they've done this year, they've cut a lot. They've cut and not re-signed a lot of their very talented players, and they've really cut back on their cash spending. Their general manager, a guy called John Lynch, when he was talking about this, it said how the 49ers were in the top 5 cash spending teams in the NFL. He said that, that had to be stopped and they had to pump the brakes on it. And it seems certainly that Jed York is not cutting the checks anymore, and is certainly cutting the money back from that aspect. So I suppose, the chances of them coming in and suddenly just, paying everything off and paying everything forward, I don't see happening. Like I said, I'd love to know your thoughts. Why are the board putting us in hock? Why are they putting us in more debt? Against also, it's a risk as well. You're saying it's against future transfer fees. Well, what happens if those transfer fees don't raise as much money as you consider they're going to raise? Now, you look at the assets we currently have at the football club, and you look at, obviously Václav Černý is not our player. So that's one of our highest assets. Jack Butland is obviously not going to fetch the fee he would have done last summer if you're going to sell Jack Butland. You're then looking at the likes of Nicholas Raskin, Hamza Igman, who was linked. Hamza Igman, there's a story in the papers yesterday, where he was linked with Sevilla for 10 million. Are those players going to raise the money you think they're going to raise to help pay off this loan? That's a question. It's a very, very strange story at this stage of the season. Like I said, at this stage of the takeover. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm worried. I really am. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. On the way out, please like, comment, subscribe and share. And remember always, even though we have the worst board in European football, we are the people.